my name is Zachary Carpenter, and I am doing a summary on Moby Dick. In the beginning, our intrepid narrator Ishmael, a former school teacher, signs up as a sailor on a whaling voyage to cure a bout of depression. On his way to find a ship in Nantucket, he meets Queequeg, a heavily tattooed South Sea Island harpooner who just returned from his latest whaling voyage. Ishmael and Queequeg become best buds and roommates almost immediately. Together, they sign up for a voyage on the Pequod, which is just about to start on a 3-year expedition to hunt sperm whales. On board the Pequod, Ishmael meets the mates, Starbuck, Stubb, and Flask, and the other harpooners Tashtigo and Dagu. The ship's commander, Captain Ahab, remains secluded in his cabin and never shows himself to the crew. The mates organize the beginning of the voyage as though there was no captain at all. Just when Ishmael's curiosity about Ahab begins to obsess him, Ahab starts appearing on deck. We find out that he is missing one leg. When Starbuck asks if it was Moby Dick, the famous white whale that took off his leg, at last Ahab tells the crew of the Pequod to look for a white-headed whale with a wrinkled brow, Moby Dick, the legendary whale that took his leg. Starbuck tells Ahab that his obsession with Moby Dick is madness, but Ahab claims that all things are masked, and there is some unknown reasoning behind that mask, that man must strike through. For Ahab, Moby Dick is that mask. Ahab himself seems to recognize his own madness. Starbuck begins to worry that the ship is overmatched by the mad captain, and knows that he will see an impious end to Ahab. The crew swears to the mad captain to go to the ends of the earth to seek revenge on the whale. After swearing to Ahab, the crew settles down into a routine on board the Pequod. While they're always on the lookout for Moby Dick, the crew has a job to do: hunting sperm whales, butchering them, and harvesting the sperm oil that they store in huge barrels in the hold. Ishmael takes advantage of the plot to give the reader lots of contemporary background information about whale biology, the whaling industry, and sea voyages. The Pequod encounters other ships which tell them the latest news about the white whale. In disbelief, the crew discovers that Ahab has secretly smuggled an extra boat crew on board, led by a mysterious demonic harpooner named Fedallah. Over the course of more than a year, the ship travels across the Atlantic, around the southern tip of Africa, through the Indian Ocean, among the islands of Southeast Asia, into the Sea of Japan, and finally to the equator in the Pacific Ocean, Moby Dick's home turf. Despite first mate Starbuck's misgivings and a variety of bad omens, Ahab insists on continuing to pursue his single-minded revenge quest. In a parody of Christian ceremony of baptism, he goes so far as to dip his specially forged harpoon in human blood, just so that he'll have the perfect weapon with which to kill Moby Dick. Finally, just when we think the novel's going to end without ever seeing the famous white whale, Ahab sights him, and the chase is on. The chase was ended by a typhoon that pushed the Pequod in the opposite direction of Moby Dick, causing the compass and other navigational instruments to be rendered useless. The next morning, Ahab corrects the problem with the compass despite the skepticism of his crew, and the ship continues on its journey. The Pequod comes upon yet another ship, the Rachel, whose Captain Gardner knows Ahab. He requests that Pequod help in searching for Gardner's son, who may be lost at sea. But Ahab flatly refuses when he learns that Moby Dick is nearby. The struggle against Moby Dick lasts 3 days. On the first day, Ahab spies the whale himself, and the whaling boats row after it. Moby Dick attacks Ahab's boat, causing it to sink, but Ahab survives the ordeal when he reaches Stubb's boat. Despite the first failed attempt at defeating the whale, Ahab pursues him for a second day. On the second day of the chase, roughly the same defeat occurs. This time, Moby Dick breaks Ahab's ivory leg, while Fedallah dies when he becomes entangled in the harpoon line and is drowned. After the second attack, Starbuck chastises Ahab, telling him that his pursuit is impious and blasphemous. Ahab declares that the chase against Moby Dick is immutably decreed. On the third day of the attack against Moby Dick, Starbuck panics for ceding to Ahab's demands, while Ahab tells Starbuck that some ships sail from their ports and afterwards are missing, seemingly admitting the futility of his mission. When Ahab and his crew reach Moby Dick, Ahab finally stabs the whale with his harpoon, but the whale again tips Ahab's boat. However, the whale rams the Pequod and causes it to begin sinking. In a seemingly suicidal attack, Ahab throws his harpoon at Moby Dick, but becomes entangled in the line and goes down with it. Only Ishmael survives the attack, for he was fortunate to be on a whaling boat instead of on the Pequod. Eventually, he is rescued by the Rachel as its captain continues its search for his missing son, only to find a different orphan.